Hi, I'm just one American and I'm a Tea Partier. It's obvious I'm not a paid spokesman. If I were, I'd be younger, have a lot whiter teeth, and probably a lot better looking. A lot's been said about the Tea Party, mostly from Democrats and the mainstream liberal press. Let me tell you what is true and what's not true. First, let's talk about what's not true. In practicing the politics of division, Democrats say the Tea Party is racist and sexist. That's a complete lie. What we are against is high taxes, high spending, and overregulation. Because Barack Obama is black, we're not against his skin color, but we are against his policies. So let's clear that up. A black American is just as much an American as I am. A Mexican American is just as much an American as I am. A Chinese American is just as much American as I am. As for this fictional war on women that you hear Democrats say, well, that's complete BS. It come quite a surprise to my wife and my daughters. It's just not true. In fact, we're all Americans. I'm sick of the politics of division that politicians use to pit us against each other. It's time we get unified as Americans. So let's talk about what Tea Partiers are for. This is in two parts. The first part is fundamental, and I can't stress it enough. We believe in personal freedom and individual liberty, as our nation was designed and defined by our Declaration of Independence, our Constitution, and our Bill of Rights. To sum that up, we believe the government exists to serve the people, not the other way around. The government, all government, state, local, and federal, exists to serve the people. The people do not exist to serve the federal government. That's a fundamental and can't be stressed enough. Secondly, Tea Partiers stand for fiscally responsible government. Last year, Tax Freedom Day was April 18th. Now that means that the average American taxpayer had to work until April 18th, from January 1st to April 18th, to pay all their local, state, federal taxes. And in my opinion, that's just ridiculous. That's about 30% of the year. In fact, in 2013, Americans paid a total tax bill, again, local, state, and federal, of $4.2 trillion. That's more than the average family paid for food, housing, and clothing combined. Under Barack Obama, federal spending has increased almost $1 trillion a year from his very first year, and has been on autopilot ever since. Our national debt was $10.6 trillion when he took office. Today it stands right at $17.5 trillion. That translates into a debt burden of $55,000 for every American man, woman, and child. These aren't just numbers. We paid over $250 billion just last year on interest alone. That's money just thrown away. As the tax and spend Democrats have had their way, taxes have increased and spending's increased. You hear President Obama and the Democrats, they scoff at having a debt ceiling. They don't want a debt ceiling. They want to continue spending as much money as they want to. Right now, spending and debt are on a runaway track that we can't afford. Of the Obama deficit reduction plan, only $1 out of every $7 was for spending cuts. $6 are for new taxes. Well, I believe it's high time we had a black president or even a woman president. I lament that Barack Obama Democrats have regrettably more than lived up to their tax and spend stereotype, grabbing more and more money from everyday Americans, driving down disposable incomes, and stifling economic growth. The conclusion is you grow America by prospering Americans, not the government. If you prosper the country, government revenues will be fine. After all, it's our money, not the government's. What could you do if you were allowed to keep more of your own money? You could save more, buy that new car, maybe even take a vacation. But instead, we're held hostage by a federal government that's out of control and sees America and her people as something to be robbed and pillaged instead of appreciated, defended, incentivized, and allowed to prosper. I'm just one American, and that's why I'm a Tea Partier. For more information, go to the internet, look at the usdebtclock.org, visit the Tax Foundation's website, or feel free to visit my website, guideandcountryonline.com.